Hello and welcome everyone. So welcome to our free online lesson. My name is Nabi Fikri bin Shaizan and I'm an application engineer from AK System. Right, so for today's, I would like to share with you about the Inventor custom drawing template. So how are we going to create our own customizable templates for the drawing file? Right, so this is some of the few things that we are going to take a look. Right, so first of all, we're going to create and save the drawing templates. Right, so we're going to learn how to create a new one and how are we going to save that particular templates that we have made some changes. And then there are some changes that we would like to take a look. So first of all, so we want to take a look on how we can create our custom models. Then how can we create our custom title blocks and the custom style and standard. So this is where you put some drawing annotations like text and also the dimensioning. Afterwards, we would like to take a look on some of these things that can automate our drawing templates. So such as the custom sheet format. So basically, when we insert uh, drawing models inside of our drawing files, so it will going to automatically create multiple views. Right, so we don't need to redo that over and over again. Then the next one, we're going to take a look at auto dimensioning. So for the 2022 version, so now we can automatically include our dimensioning from the model parts. Right, so let's get started. Right, so right now I'm opening my Inventor, uh, software. So if you want to take a look at your drawing file, so first of all, you can go to this file over here, and you can go to the new. And this is where you can find your templates. So on the templates over here, so for my case, I use English US and I pick matrix. So you can see our drawing templates is right over here. So we have multiple types of templates. So we have .dwg and also .idw. So the .dwg particularly stand for drawing files. IDW stand for Inventor drawing. Right. So for this case, we're going to use DWG because it is easier and we can open this particular file inside of AutoCAD as well. Now, to create our new drawing template, so first of all, we're going to create a copies of it. So to do that, we can take a look at this location that stores our particular drawings over here. So this particular question is located at here. You can see on the C drive, users, public, document, Autodesk, your Inventor version, and the templates files. So let's go to that particular files to create a new template drawing file from there. All right. So for this case, I'm going to C drive, and that will be on the users, on the public document, Autodesk, your Inventor version, Inventor 2022 for my case, and edit drawing and the templates over here. So right now we have some multiple templates. So for my case, I'm using the English US templates. And if I want to make to be more details, I'm going to use templates from the matrix. So from outside here, we can also already see our standard drawing templates that you can find from here. But I'm just going to go with the matrix folders over here, which are everything created in millimeters. Now you can see all of these drawing templates and also some of these assemblies and parts. So everything has been put over here. So we're going to create a copies of one of these templates. So for example, I'm going to go with ISO. So I'm going to copy this one and I'm going to paste this one over here. So it's going to create another copy, which is named as ISO copy. So I'm going to rename that again using my name. For example, maybe I call this file as custom template. And then this particular file we can start to. All right, so some people, okay, so sorry about that. I believe I shared the wrong drawing, shared the wrong screen. Let me show you again. Now from the C drive, right? So I'm going to go back to my home. Right, so from my C drive, so I can go to C, go to users, public, public document, orders, and your Inventor versions. For my case, it will be Inventor 2022, and on this template folders over here. So you can see there are multiple types of templates. So for my case, I'm using the English US version, and you can see our template file is right over here. Now, if I want to be more detailed, so I can just go with metrics. So I'm using the metrics template. So I can go over here. So we have more templates files that we can find from here, such as this drawing file and IDW assembly file, and also part files that has been stored here. So we're going to create a copy of one of these files. So for this case, I'm going to copy ISO, which I'm going to edit later on. I'm going to copy from here, going to paste. So it renamed as copy. So I'm just going to rename it again. Name this one as custom template. Yes, so I already have custom template here. So I'm going to delete one of these. So I'm going to use this one. Now, if I go back to my inventors and I've opened my new, so you can see it is right. So you can see it is now has been appear over here. So custom template that I have created over before. So it's stored from here. So right away I can just simply use from here. However, just a precaution, so I'm going to restart my Inventor. So hopefully I will not get any error afterwards. So let me reopen back my Inventors. Right. So just give it a couple of seconds before it starts to run. Now, if you want to edit your particular drawing template, so what you can do is that instead of you edit from your templates, what you can do is that you can just simply edit from here, right? So open from here. So the reason why that if I just directly go to my inventors and I open my template files, if I open my inventors and I will go to my new and drawing template, so I have my custom templates over here. Now, if I directly open from here, so what you're going to see is that instead of I'm editing that particular file that I have copied, so it's going to open that file and it's going to create a new file over here. So you can see it is named as drawing one, right? So my file name is custom drawing. So I'm not actually edit that particular file. So what you can do is that, first of all, you can directly open from here. I'm going to open with inventors. It's going to open these files directly inside Inventor, and you can see it is actually named as custom template files. Right, so you can see it is named as custom template. So basically, if I edit anything from here, so it will actually edit from the source file itself. Other ways, you can also open the file from here and search the particular location of the file. So then you can open directly from here. So you can use open as well. But if you still want to go with the new template file, so you can go over here. So once you finish edit of your file, you can go to files and you can select save as, save copy as template. So this is particularly is going to save this one as another copy, but it will automatically save this particular file inside of this directory location. Now let's get started. I'm going to start with introducing our sheets. We're going to start recreating our sheets. So first of all, You can find from here, sheets. I can right click and edit the sheets. So I can select whether I want portraits, or maybe I want to change the location of my title box. So I can select from here. Maybe I need to change my paper size, so I can use from here as well. So it's used from here. Okay, so that is particularly for the sheet. So what I'm going to do, we're going to start with creating or editing our first borders in title blocks. So you can find from the drawings resource from here. So we have borders and title blocks. So I'm going to insert this one. So by default, we only have one types. Okay, so to start insert this one, I'm going to delete my sheet, just make it default versions. So to use the borders from here, so you can double click and it will start to insert borders. You want to use the title blocks, so you can double click on the ISO, which is the title blocks. So you're going to appear over here. Now, right now, we're not going to use the default things that has been shown over here. We're going to create a new one. So first of all, you can go to title blocks. So let's start with title blocks. I can right click and select copies. I'm going to paste again over here. So it's going to create a new copies of these title blocks. So I can actually edit from here. So let's start to edit. So let's say I make another. So let's say something like this. And let's say I put some dimension over here. So let's hit some edit here. And maybe I want to put some images. Let's say a logo for my company. So I choose image from here. I pick the location for my logos. So let's say I put this logo. So for this one, let me resize this one. So let's say I put somewhere around here. So I have made some changes, and then I want to make some lines. So in case I needed more informations over here. So I'm going to create some offset from here. So let's say this is particularly the things that we create for our data blocks. So I'm going to hit finish. I'm going to save this one. So obviously it's not going to change here, but it's going to save over here on my data box over here. I'll copy. So since we already have the data block over here, so I'm going to delete this one. And I'm going to insert my data block that I have newly created. So you can see it is actually shown right over here. Right, so you can see our data blocks. Right, so this one we create from copies. So if you want to create from scratch, you can also right click on the data blocks and define new data blocks. So basically, when you do this, it will ask you to create new data blocks from scratch, which you can use later on. Right, so I have my new data blocks. Let's say I delete this one. Let's double click and it will be shown from here. Right, so I'm not going to use this. Let's say this is my data block that I want. So the next thing is we want to learn on how to create our own custom borders. So we have our custom borders over here. So the default one, this one we already input. So I'm going to delete this one. So if I double click, it's going to show. But I can insert drawing border from here. It's going to give me more option. For example, I want to have more horizontal zones for numeric or alphabet. So let's say I give it about 4 zones and about 6 number of zones for the alphabet. Press OK. So you can see the zone has been divided. Right. So maybe I want more changes instead of just borders. The zones, I can also select from the bottom here. So you have text styles, text layers. Maybe you want to change the text style for the numbering or alphabets, so you can change from here. Or maybe I just want to change my sheet margin. So for example, I want this margin a little bit move up. So I'm going to change from the bottom over here. So let's give it 1. And when I press OK, so you can see it is now moved up. Right? So we can change the size of our borders from that as well. Now that is where we select, we will create from here. But if you want to create from scratch again, so you can right click and select define new borders. So let me delete the borders from here first. I'm going to define a new borders. So this is where I can create my new borders. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to create my own custom borders. We're going to give it offset about, let's say, 5. So we have our border over here. So if I click finish, so this is going to appear on my page. But before we do that, let's try to give more dimensioning, so that if I were to change my paper size, so these particular borders will try to match the size between this paper and also this border. So I'm going to give a dimension. So for this line until this point, so let's give it about, let's say, 8. So from this line until this point, so this one will be 8 as well. This line until this point, and this one until this. Now, right? So obviously I can create more edit as well. So for example, I can create lines or anything, but just going to give it this one as a default. So next, I'm just going to click finish sketch and just rename this as, let's say, custom borders. Save, and I'm going to double click and it's going to appear over here. So since we put some dimensioning between this paper and also the borders, for example, if I were to change my sheet size, if I did my sheet size over here, let's give it a size of A3. So you can see the size and the borders also change as well. But however, we have one more problem. So if I were to look at our data blocks, so we can see clearly is this now actually intersect between these borders over here. So to do that, I'm going to edit back my borders. I'm going to delete first and edit my custom borders. Oops. Going to edit, and what I'm going to do is that I'm going to specify a new point where my title box will be. So this is the point that I want my title box to be instead of this one. So all you have to do is that click at this point, and you can go to the format panel over here and just make sure this green connection point grid is turned on, right? So once it's turned on, you can finish the sketch, save. So I'm just going to re-enter back. So you can see it is now, oops, this is not at the borders. Right, borders, so you can see it's now put this one correctly at this particular point. Right. So that is custom borders, custom data blocks. Now, the next thing is that we would like to create or we like to edit, which is of course the styles and also the standards of our annotation. Right. So, for example, if I put some models over here, so maybe files, right? And then if I were to click some dimensioning, so you can see we have our own standards which we can find from here. Right, so if I were to create another dimensioning, let's say I change my formats of my standards, we can see we have our own particular standards. So this is one a default standard. So if you want to create a new one, again, what you can do is that you can go to manage, and you can find the style editor from here. So you can create from here. So we have multiple things that you can edit, make some changes. So we have centers, we have dimensioning, hatch, tables, text. So for this case, let's start with some basics. So we're going to edit the text and also the dimensioning. So for the text, so we already have some defaults. I'm going to create a new copy from this one. So let's start with standard. So I'm going to create a new, and I'm going to name this one as custom text. Right, and from here I can change my font, my text height over here. For example, let's say I've changed this text into Arial. Say Arials, and I can also change my text height. So let's say 4. I can also change my colors if I need to. So let's change into dark green. Okay. So I have my custom text, so I can save this one. Say save and close. So if I were to put my text over here, and I can select my standards, which I have created, which is this custom text over here. So you can see it is now applied to which the standard that I have created. So that is the text. So let's create another one, which is for the dimension as well. So for that, you can go to my manage again, style editors, and I'm going to go to my dimensioning. So of course, I cannot create from new, but I can create new, which is a copy from. So I'm going to copy from default ISO. So create new. So it's going to copy from the default ISO. I'm going to rename this one as custom dimension. Right. So for this one, I can change some of the things. For example, units. Let's say maybe I want to go with centimeters, the precision. I'm going to add another 0 at the back. Right. So I can change the alternative unit, the display settings, the text. Right. So maybe the text I want to have the same text with my custom text. So I select from here. So I can change the options, which for my arrow placements. Right, so for this case, let's say I just leave it as default, or maybe I want to change my line to green into red colors. So let's say red colors, and save this one, save and close. So when I go back to my annotate, select my dimensioning. So make sure to select the custom dimension that you have created before. Let's select this one. So right now I have my custom dimensioning, which is I have created from this style editor form. Now, let's move on to the next one after we create our own custom styles, standards, and borders. So we're going to save. So this one is still under custom templates. So I'm going to save these templates. So it's going to save the default location of these templates. So if I push this one, and let's say I create a new template, so which is this one, and let's say I templates, create this one, and I'm going to put some drawing from here. Say I put this particular drawing, and then I'm going to put some drawing annotation. Say dimensioning. Right, so I'm going to use my own custom standards. So dimensioning, pick my standards, so you can see we have our own custom standard that we have created before. Now, if I use this one, so you can see it is automatically select based on my own custom custom setting. Right. So each time if I want to reopen or recreate my drawing file, so I don't need to readjust my style form. Right. So next, let's start to look at the drawing on drawing automation. Right, so drawing automations allow you to automatically input your drawing files, right? Input your models and automatically create multiple files, multiple view from here. Now, if I go to my new drawing file over here, so you can see that besides these particular columns, you can see on the right side over here, so we have other types of custom standard from here, right? So if I choose different types of standards, so we have our different types of sheet formats from here. Now, this one, for example, if I were to choose this one, so I'm going to create this one, and I'm going to open my files. Say open this one, and okay. Oops. And you can see automatically create this particular file type of view, which is exactly the same like this one. So basically, we can save our multiple view first, and next time we want to open this one, it's going to allow us to automatically create this particular view for us. So let's start to see on how we can do that. So I'm going to close this one. So we're going to use this one as well. Now, to do that, let's say I create another projected files. Say another projected view. So this view, say this view, this view. Say we just create multiple types of view so we can see much clearer afterwards. Let's see. Alright, so just to make the distinction between this one and others, so I'm going to delete these borders. Oops, not the borders, the data blocks. So let's say this one, I give it shaded view. Maybe this one is hidden view. And I'm going to save this file, right? And next time I want to automatically create this multiple view when I insert my part files or assembly files. So since this one is not actually the original copy of the particular files, so I can go and save this one as save copy as templates. And again, I'm going to matrix. Say I just name this one. Oops. Okay. So before I save this one, I forget to mention. So I needed to save my sheet first. So you can see our sheet. We have A4, A2, A2, and multiple view. So this is this three particular view is representing the one that we have over here. So we have 1, 2, 3. Right. So we want to have our new view. So going to my sheet. So right click and create sheet format. I'm going to name this one as 9 view because it has 9 particular view. I believe this one is A3, so just name it as A3, and I can select fit view to sheet. So fit view to sheet is basically when you import any models. So if the model is too big or too small, it's going to try to readjust, make sure to have the right particular size for this particular drawing file. So I'm going to click this one and OK. So you can see on our sheet format. So we have our A39 view over here. Now I can go ahead and save as and save copy as templates matrix. So I'm going to name this one as custom template 2 and save this one. So let's say I close this one. And I'm going to new. Then you can see, okay, so I believe I should have, okay, so the custom template 2. So if you drop down, so we can see our custom templates already here, which this default sheet format. Okay. So I'm going to click over here. So if I choose other types of drawings, for example, I believe this one. So if I open this one, so let me enter back this one. So if I put this one, oops, right. So instead of I open from base, what I can do is that I can go to my drawing format over here, can go to my sheet format and find my A39 view over here. Right, so either you do from here or you can also do from the new and select from here as well. Right, so I open, select this one, open, right. Then you can see automatically create this particular multiple view formats for us. Right. Now, instead of just this, another thing is that you can do is that you can also include automatically the dimensioning, right? So this one is for the dimensioning is uh, a new features inside of Inventor 2032. Right. So for example, if I have my drawing file over here, what I can do is that I can bring back the dimensioning from my 3D dimensioning part files. So for example, if I open my part files, then you can see that on my view, so let's say if I go to my model masters, on my view, so you can drop down. So I have multiple type of views. So I have defaults, I have fronts, which we have our 3D annotation, so top view, side view. Right. So if you're wondering how we can use or how we can create this particular dimensioning, you can go to annotate and you can go to dimension from here. So click dimension and then you can click from here. Right, so it will appear from here. Okay, so what the new things that has been added is that you can create multiple type of view from here, and then you can input the dimension from here, and this particular view can be allowed to transfer back into your drawing template files. So let's go back to our drawing template files. So once you input your models, to make sure that you can drop down over here, so you can see this particular view already been transferred from our part files. So we have front, ISO, side, and tops. So for example, this one will be the front view. So I select front view, and then I click on my gear icon over here. So make sure include your 3D annotation and exactly your camera view. So this is going to include back your 3D dimensioning from the part file. So I'm going to hit OK and OK. So you can see it is now automatically bring back that particular dimension inside over here. Right. So let's create multiple views here. Right. So this one and this one. So this one I'm going to bring back. So this one will be the top view. So you should turn on this one. So it's going to bring back the annotation. This one as well. So this one will be the side view. And this one will be the ISO view. So duration. Right. So let's say this one I still want shaded. Now, once you already have this, all you can do is that again, you can go to your sheet format. So this one, I don't need this one, so I'm going to delete this one. So you can go to your sheet format and again, create new sheet format from here. And I'm just going to name this one as, let's say 3 view 1 ISO dimension with dimension. So it will be appearing at the sheet from here. So again, so save this one as a copy as templates. So going to say custom template again. This one is number 3. So if I close this one and use again, So I go to my new over here. So I have my custom template tree. So I have this one. So when I click create and I open this one, so find other drawing. So let's say this model, and hit open. And you should see it automatically create this particular view, this 3 view, 1 ISO, and also this particular 3D annotation as well. So you can see we can apply automation inside of Inventor software. Now, just to be clear, just to make this happen, for this particular drawing, also need to have the same particular view. For example, if I open back this drawing, so you need to have the front view, side view, top view, which is exactly the same name, TOP, ISO, exactly the same name with the other template files that we already have. Right? So front view, so make sure you input this particular annotation for the dimension. So only then it will reappear back on the custom sheet format. So I hope this is clear for you guys. So if you have any questions, so you can type in the chat. And in the meantime, so I'm going to just show you one last thing is about our company, right? So if you want to visit us, all you can do is that you can go to our websites. Just type in on any browser, ecatsystems.com, right? And press enter. It will automatically show you, bring you to our main landing page from here. And here you can drop down and see. So we have our latest promotion and news that you can find from here. We have our weekly free online license that if you want to join, so you can just simply click from here and you can reserve these seats from here. Right? So if you need to contact us, so you can use this chat button from here, the live chats. And if you want to have our supports help desk, you can go to our help desk, ecosystem help desk, and you can start as a guest, and you can start to fill in your information and your request. All right. So I believe you have some in the chats. Okay. So right, so we have some question in the chat. So one question from Gina Tan. So means the key in dimension in IPT will only show in DWG. So the video can repeat this for watch again YouTube. Yes, this video actually saved on, actually it is recorded on our Facebook right now, but it will be transferred into the YouTube later on. If you want to rewatch back our videos, what you can do is that you can go back to our manager page as well, right? So you can drop down right at the bottom. So we have our Facebook page and also our YouTube. So if you want to go to our Facebook, so click Facebook and it will directly open our ecosystem Facebook, and you can go to videos, and this is particularly the video recording right now. Right, so if you want to watch from YouTube, so this one will be transferred manually from the YouTube. So maybe today or tomorrow. So our marketing teams will be uploaded into our YouTube. Okay, so another question is that the key in dimension in IPT will only show in DWG. Okay, so I believe you mean that this one, right? So this one is actually taken from the annotate. Sorry, this one is actually taken from the Inventor part files, the dimensioning, 3D dimensioning, right? So this one will be only showing from here if you go to the gear icon over here and make sure to include the 3D annotation. So of course, this one is actually you need to do first on this 3D modeling over here. So you need to insert first your the dimensioning from here. Only then it can be transferred inside of the annotation. Right. So if you want to have normal dimensioning from here, it does not actually automatically. For example, if I use my normal dimensioning for annotate, and you will like this particular dimension to be automatically like we have done before on this one, cannot do that because this one is also been done manually inside of the part files beforehand. Right. So I believe this one is clear for you. So if you have any questions, you can ask me again. So I believe I have answered your questions. Right. So since we have no more questions from here, so we can stop from here. So thank you everyone for joining our free online lesson for today, and I hope we can see you guys again on our next free online. Right. So thank you and have a nice day.